I'm Dr. Mark Waterbury, inventor of the Aerofalls compact vertical aeroponic gardening system. I'm going to be demonstrating how to transplant plants purchased from a nursery and grown in soil into the Mesofalls and Macrofalls 1 models of the Aerofalls system. I'm going to use a method based on wrapping this open cell reticulated foam material around the stem of the plant immediately above the roots. Now this is a very special foam. It does not wick water. It is very, very open to allow oxygen flow to the stem of the plant. This open cell structure allows the plant stem to receive oxygen and airflow in general and to dry itself out a little bit. Without that, if you used a closed cell foam or some other kind of support that didn't allow oxygen, you can wind up getting stem rot. The plants will have healthy roots, healthy plant, but rotted in the middle. Now the first thing I need to do is get the soil off from the plant, off from the roots, because we don't want the soil clogging up the Aerofalls system. So I'm going to crumple away most of that, avoiding removing roots. I'm actually being very gentle with the plants themselves. And then I'm going to wash the remainder of it, being careful not to get the rest of the plant down into the water here. Here I have the roots of the marigold washed pretty much clear. There's just a little bit of stem between where the plant is branching out and where the roots are branching out. I want to take this open-celled foam and wrap it around that a few turns. Now the idea is that this is going to provide mechanical support to hold the plant in place, in particular until the roots are grown down into the column, and then they'll provide additional plant support. Now when I've wound this up to where the diameter of the foam is roughly the same as the diameter of this little ring, I call these arrow rings because I can, and this is the ring that's going to go down into the port that's going to support the plant. It's roughly that same diameter, so I'm just going to tear off the remainder of that foam, pass the roots through the ring with the flared side pointing toward the plant, and press that down in place. So here I have the plant. The foam is wrapped around the stem of the plant just above the roots. It is pressed down into the ring, and it's snug, but it is not too snug. It is actually fairly loose because the plant's going to be growing a great deal in this system. So I don't want to make this be a very tight fit here. I want it to be just tight enough to hold the plant in place until the plant can grow larger. So with the plant held in place on the ring, I'm ready to simply insert the ring into the Aerofalls system. Now I want to be careful to drape the roots down and in and not fold them back and pinch them off. So I'm going to be a little bit careful doing this. This gets to be a little bit tricky when you have a more grown plant, because then you have a lot of roots that you're working down into the system. But there it is, plugged in. If the plant has any tendency to go up in one direction, I'm going to point that upward. Now I'm going to run right through and repeat the same process without talking so much so you can see the whole flow. Take the plant, crumple off the soil, wash it clean, and wrap the foam around the stem. About 2 turns there, pass the roots through the ring, flared side toward the plant, nestle that in there, and plug it in.